Be a magnetic person that loves deeply, leads with certainty, but most importantly is able to walk away when he senses disrespect. I'll cut straight to the point, because this is the truth. You've been lied to, and I've had enough, right? You've been told, don't show your emotions. Then of course you can show your emotions, and if they walk away, so be it. You get to talk, and things get better from there because you get to feel things, right? So it's like, is it just be vulnerable? Is it ignore your emotions? Should I be stoic? Which one is it? And it's neither. No one actually tells you how to lead emotionally because no one knows how to do it. No one's taught us this. You don't learn it in school. You don't learn it at work. You don't learn it in business. The ability to learn how to lead your emotions is what separates you from 99% of men out there. And the problem is, when the emotions get loud, we either react or respond. But you can only respond once you understand the action you want to take. And if you're not aware or familiar with the situation or the emotions that's being shared, then you're not going to know how to respond. So you react. You see, what they didn't tell you about being emotionally numb is that it's a reaction. Here's what we're going to do. In this video, I'm going to show you 7 rules that separate emotionally driven men from men who slowly become invisible in their own story. Alright, so most men today are emotional passengers, right? And we're supposed to be drivers. We're supposed to be driving our emotions. We're supposed to be leading our emotions. But the truth of the matter is that because no one's told us anything when it comes to this, we're passengers. So as soon as the emotion comes in, it drives us. And this is why we feel weak. Because when your emotions are driving you and you're the passenger, you'll have no control over how you feel. You have no control about what you say. You have no control over the action you actually want to entertain. And this is why they make you feel weak, because you're not controlling your emotions, right? So here's the problem. Until we stop reacting to emotions like the weather, we are going to carry on playing this loophole where we think that the best way to handle your emotions is to just suppress them, ignore them, or just not feel them. And emotions are power. And I want you to imagine emotion are this massive dragon inside of you that if you don't control, you're just missing out on, because that's the very power that you need to push when certain things are not working out. That's the certain power that you need to gain momentum when things are not going exactly to plan. And that's exactly the very power you need when it comes to understanding how to be present with your woman. So when you're being emotionally numb, you're not just being numb, you're being invisible. And your woman needs to feel your presence in the emotional space in order for her to respect you in the physical one. I don't know if that makes sense. I really hope so. But if it doesn't make sense now, by the end of the video, it will. Alright. So here's why this happens, by the way, because when she panics, you panic. So when she pulls away, you chase, right? Or when she's testing you, you either fold or shut down or start crying like a kid, right? So in those 3 scenarios, you're reacting the whole time. And I want to share something, it might be a bit early, but I want you to understand something. When you're reacting, you're not in control. Because something has to happen in order for your action to take place. And you always want to be able to respond, and you respond by resetting the room and making sure that what you want to do is aligned with who you want to be, and most importantly, where you want to go. Right, so the worst part of this is that we thought that being a good man would be enough, right? That's what we've been told. That's what I was told, right? And I've seen that too many times. Great guys, good providers, loyal, hardworking men, right? Still getting cheated on, disappointed, disregarded, and disrespected. These are men that are ghosted by the same woman that they're willing to die for. I'll never forget, I had the conversation with my ex, right? And in that conversation, I said to her, listen, I want the best for you. This is why I'm so hard on you, and I want you to become the very best version of yourself. Listen, I don't even care about myself. I just want you to win. And I thought this was one of the best speeches that's ever been said. Looking back now, I can see that's probably one of the reasons she broke up with me. Well, I broke up with her, but it's because she was non-responsive. So she had left the relationship emotionally, and I was still trying to put two and two together in regards to, has my self-respect left the room? Yeah, around a year ago. So when I say clarity makes her feel safe, I'm not saying that because I'm angry or frustrated or in a painful situation. No. It's got nothing to do with her. It was everything to do with me. But here's the thing, right? Clarity is what makes my wife feel safe. So because I'm clear on what I'm doing, where I'm going, and what's expected of me, she knows exactly how to feel safe within that, right? So when you can't lead yourself, she starts leading the relationship, and that's never a good sign. Unless, of course, you're happy to take the back seat. But if she didn't want to be the leader and she is the leader, and you didn't want to be the passenger and you are the passenger, yeah, you guys are gonna have a problem. So let me tell you the truth, right? Like I said, I was one of them. I was exactly like you in this trying to feel good and be good sort of frame. And it got to the point where, although I was confident at work, because I had done, listen, I remember that was probably one of my best years before I left the corporate space, but I had hit 100K in 4 months. That was impressive to me. I couldn't, coming from where I'm coming from, that was a lot, right? So here's me thinking, I'm the king of the world, like, wow, like Blade Brown, come on, let me some accolades, man, right? But when it came to her now, I couldn't transfer the same confidence I had with these clients. I could speak to multi-millionaires, sure, yeah, on the phone, have a catch up, whatever the case is, right? I had to do the communication skills, but when it came to her, oh no, it didn't transfer. It just didn't work out. And I want you to understand that led to her being passive, cold, passive aggressive, and most importantly, I had turned myself into a little boy that was trying to earn back his place, not knowing it was always mine to own in the first place. You see, here's what they don't tell you about the myth of being a good guy. Good guys are not the guys that are rewarded, right? We've been told that good guys get the sweets, the bad guys don't. You know, if when you're well-mannered, you'll be rewarded, may not be immediately, but eventually it'll come. And I'm here to tell you, the people that are rewarded are the people that are certain. Because the question then goes, like, why do bad guys get rewarded then? Right? Why do they get away with stuff? Yeah, it's because they're certain. And before you now start screaming, but I want the world to be fair, the world's not fair. If the world was fair, chicken will be able to eat you too. Oh yeah. You fry them, you use them as outfits, you do all sorts of things to these chickens and use them to bake, use their children to bake cake. Like, let's just actually talk about this, right? Like, if you wanted this life thing to be really fair, chicken should be able to eat us. Because we eat we're talking about, this is inhumane. You know what? I kind of hate the vegans. I love meat, I love chicken, but I hear it. It's horrible. And you're saying the same thing to humans? Anyways, let's not get distracted. So, you see, you don't realize how far you've fallen until you look in the mirror and don't recognize what you see. And I remember that exact moment it happened to me. I remember sitting, thinking to myself, this thing I'm doing is not working. This good thing is horrible. I can't get a promotion. I can't get my partner to respect me. I can't get my friends who betrayed me to even bother to apologize for what they've done to me. I can't get anything, right? And here's the twist. Okay, then I just need to perform better then. I just need to be nicer, try harder. And the truth is, until you strip all these unmythical things away, you are going to carry on running in that same loop like a squirrel chasing its own tail. And as sad as it sounds, that was my story for years. I thought I just needed to go harder, right? It's just a matter of time. It's okay, we'll figure it out. And I want you to understand that emotional game isn't won by tactics. It's won with understanding how to build your presence by being certain in what you represent. The best way to describe it is you want to build familiarity with your emotions. If you have to speak to them, speak to them. Hey, anger, how you doing? Right? I know there's obviously techniques that I teach my private clients, but I'm just saying, right? Learn how to familiarize yourself with your emotions. That's the honest truth. Like, be comfortable with your emotions. Because once you're comfortable with your emotions, then people get to not just feel your confidence in your emotion, but get to feel comfortable when it's time for their emotions to sit closer to your emotions, right? And most men have not done this, right? Most men are reactive. We discussed this before, emotionally scrambled and terrified of chaos. So this is, however, why she doesn't feel you. Because the key word is feel. And feel is an emotional-led world. You want her to feel you, then you've got to feel yourself first. Put it this way, you've got to believe in your source. But not just believe in your source, you've got to believe in it so well emotionally that whoever comes into how well you believe in your emotional source can now look at you and think, wow, this guy is solid. He doesn't shake for no one. He doesn't react. He's able to have difficult discussions. And if you're someone that's looking to understand how I do that for my clients, listen, you could be 100% one of them. I work with specific people, and the coaching service is based on an invite-only basis. However, we can have an introductory call where we see whether we can cooperate together. All right. So link is in the description, and if you're interested, yeah, just book a call. Cool. So when she throws the storm, she's testing to see how sound the ground is. But I don't know. You just need to make sure that the ground is solid. So you test it to make sure it's solid. Does that make you a bad person? No. And that's exactly what women do when they're maybe getting to know you, or sort of seeing unintentionally if they can utilize your strength as leverage for their strength, so that they can enwrap themselves in their safety, and by doing so, release their softness, right? This is why I created the 7 rules, right? Because a lot of men's leadership dies under pressure. Lead the frame, or the frame will lead you. If you don't define what the relationship with yourself and her stands for, you become whatever the choice creates. This is why it's so dangerous to go with the flow. Do not go with the flow, set the flow. This is the direction we're taking. Are you on board or are you not? Whichever way, I am cool with it, but this is where I'm going. Vision, foundation is key. You must understand where you're heading and what aligns with where you're heading, okay? So, control the narrative instead of being consumed by it and just sort of seeing how things go. So rule number 2, emotional control is the highest proof of masculine energy. So this is not about suppressing or numbing your emotions, and I'll explain why as well, just in case. If you just numb your emotions, right? Have you ever, when I got my tattoo, they gave me an option and said, do you want to numb this? You won't feel a thing. And I said, no, I want to feel it, right? So I felt the pain, I felt the itchiness, whatever you call it, right? My point is this: when you numb yourself, you can't feel a thing, and that also includes the good emotions. So when you need to feel good, or you need to feel amazing about certain things, because you've been told to be numb, you don't get to feel anything. So emotional control allows you to understand when to detach, when to connect, most importantly, when to respond. And this is why it's the highest proof of masculinity, because not just a few people are able to do it, but by the time you understand how to master this, you will be performing like a king. Listen, I didn't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. If you can't hold your emotions, you're asking her to be the man for both of you. Just try to say that. 3, silence is a weapon, but only if you've mastered peace. See, a lot of us, are quite big on, I'm stoic and I've learned how to detach myself and I've learned how to stay silent when things get messy. And that's good. However, I'm going to share the ability to master silence in doing specific cases, right? So imagine you're presenting something to someone and you're not scared of silence. What that does to the other person, let's say they've watched this video too, which will be kind of slightly messed up. What will happen is this: because of how quiet you are, someone will have to speak. And when you get the other person to react, well, you've got them, because you decided to just sit down and wait for them. You decided to just hear them out and say, okay, cool, I hear you. What are we gonna do? And I done that intentionally, but you see that gap allows them to digest what you just said and create some thoughts and assumptions in their head, right? So silence is a weapon. But if you're using it to pull away or to not confront things, then you're not using silence, you're using avoidance. Okay, so I want you to understand the difference, because a lot of us hide behind silence and just label it whatever. And silence has different masks. But if you understand how to handle it based on understanding when to embody it and when not to, then you've mastered it. But rule number 4, do not fix the storm, learn how to lead her through it. All right, so she doesn't need to fix her. You do not need to fix her. Why? Because you don't even need to fix yourself. The ideal of the fact that we're broken and we need to be fixed is flawed, because, especially if you're a Christian, but I'm going to say it anyway, we were made in God's image. Did everyone forget about that? We were actually made, let us make man in our image. So there's elements of us that look like God. Is God broken? I don't think so. So the next time you want to say you need to fix yourself, ask yourself if that's what you believe everybody else is telling you or what God is telling you. But I don't think God created you to be broken and then start to... No, I think what needs to happen is you need to discover your connection with God so that you can understand how to unravel and understand yourself fully. Because some of us... I had a conversation with a guy and he was like, how do we know what Jesus looks like? And I was like, wait, you think we look like Jesus because of our skin color? Or what is it? Or we look like Jesus because of where he lived on? It's the spirit behind it. We're spirit beings having a physical experience. And this is one of the shortest experiences ever, by the way. Life is short. So I need you to understand that I don't want to get too deep into it, but just understand what really matters, okay? Okay, so rule number 5. And before I go into that, actually, make sure that you understand that as you're leading her through it, you've got a crown on the top of your head. That's the key. I've never explained your masculinity, okay? So once you start justifying your boundaries or over-explaining, consider the dot. Imagine there's like a self-respect tank. Every single time you over-explain, minus 100. Over-explain again, minus 100. Overgive because of misbehave, minus 200. So it's gonna get to a point where that tank is gonna have a 0, and you're the only person that can fill it up. And if you don't know how to fill it up, well, what's gonna happen is, first of all, it shouldn't need to be filled up. That's the truth. But if it does need to be filled up, and you don't know how to do it, you're just gonna burn out. You're gonna explode, you're gonna suppress, or you're just gonna get to a point where you can't keep up with it anymore. Be the standard, right? Live by your standard, own your standard. Most importantly, attract a woman that aligns with that standard, not just hopes or believes for the best, no, actually aligns, right? So number 6, right? Withdraw approval and not love, right? So love should never be performative. I want you to understand that. When she crosses the line, your approval is what she needs to earn back. And the reason why I say this is because you should not, if you cross the line and there's no consequences to it, you will carry on crossing it. And I'm not saying you should get involved in shouting and screaming. No. It's a very clear line that you even set when you're happy. You guys are happy, cheering, like, listen, babe, I love you so much, but you should do this and I'm gone. Yeah. And yeah, it may not necessarily optimize the mood of the situation, but be willing to walk. Otherwise, you're going to be forced to forever wait for someone else to choose you. So, the most dangerous men in today's world and society are the men who love fully, lead deeply, but will walk away if disrespected. I want you to understand that this is free game. People pay me for this. But I'm sharing this with you because I want you to win. You want to become the most dangerous man in today's society, and I'm going to give you a bonus as well. Understand how to be a magnetic person that loves deeply, leads with certainty, but most importantly is able to walk away when he senses disrespect. I want you to understand that you need to protect, out of these 7 rules, the most important one is understanding how to protect your dignity and self-respect at all times. The moment you lose the ability to protect that thing, the moment you discredit it or it doesn't carry as much value anymore, you're in trouble. And before I leave, I want to leave you with a bonus point. Okay, 93% of communication, any sort of communication, is done before you even ever opened your mouth. So if you're interested in understanding how to build that 93% gap, which is shoulders back, right? Projecting your conversation, the tonality, your voice is like a piano, right? There's do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, right? So there's different thingies. That's why I said that. And I need you to understand that once you understand how to play with those two in particular, or your body language, or your hand, how you shake your hand, your level of communication, your level of being able to connect with people on a different basis and whatever the case is going to be off the charts, right? Listen, the goal here isn't just I'm not here to teach you how to control women, right? I'm here to recalibrate yourself into becoming the man that just can't be ignored the next time someone messages him and said, let's go out, right? The truth of the matter is this: if she's confused, it's not always about her. Sometimes it's because your clarity stopped speaking before your mouth did, right? So you're saying this, but you're doing the opposite. And if that's you, again, drop me a message on LinkedIn, Instagram, whichever way works for you, right? But let me help you understand how to navigate with accuracy these different models, right? So if you're tired of trying to be enough, this is a wake-up call. I need you to embody these 7 rules that we've just mentioned, right? With like your life depends on it. Because this will protect or break your marriage. That's the truth, right? But once you understand how to become emotionally unshakable, manipulation doesn't mean anything because you won't be shaken, right? Therapy, they will tell you that, yeah, you are one of the healthiest patients I've met, right? Because when you decide to lead from depth, you will never have to guess yourself again. You will know for sure. All right. So if this has added value to you, please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe in particular. And yeah, I really hope this has added value. Like I said, if you're interested in working with me privately, the link is in the description. And yeah, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.